This is Chaney Crabb from Entheos, and you're listening to Jet on Metal Messiah Radio.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Metal Magdalene with Jet right here on Metal Messiah Radio. Tonight, I have a special guest with me. I have Chaney Crabb of Entheos. Welcome to the show, Chaney.
Hello. Thanks for having me on the show tonight, man. I'm stoked to be here.
Now, did I say the band name right?
Entheos. It's a hard O.
Okay, I just want to make sure then.
I mean, you were closer than a lot of people, man.
Okay, good. Then kudos for me.
Yeah.
Okay, so Chaney, before we get into the band, let's talk a little bit about you. Now, were you always interested in being a singer or some kind of musician? And if so, at what point did you become interested in this crazy, extreme metal stuff?
I have, I think, been interested in playing music since, like, the day I was born, pretty much. I mean, there are pictures of me when I was a toddler with a guitar, like, sitting in my diaper with an acoustic guitar on the toilet and stuff. So it's always been a part of me. I got into metal and screaming when I was around 13 years old. So I've been doing it for quite a while. I'm 27 now. But yeah, that's kind of when my life flipped upside down and metal grabbed me and pulled me in.
And now you're I was just going to say that. Now you're stuck. You have to say.
Now I'm stuck.
But, I mean, when did you just, like, sing along and, like, scream along to music? I mean, when were you like, holy shit, I could do the same fucking thing that guy's doing?
Yeah, I mean, at the time I was getting into bands like Lamb of God, and there was this band called Crisis that I was really into, and Slipknot and stuff like that. So I just kind of started mimicking their voices. That was what I was listening to, so I wanted to do that type of thing. And I wasn't very good when I started, to be honest with you. I really, really sucked, and it was just something that I worked at. And over time, it kind of came to me, and there were moments when I was like, oh shit, I got this part of it down. Like, now I can project, and now I have a lower voice now. But, so, yeah, I mean, that it was all just a product of what I was into. Did
you ever get to the point where you're like, oh shit, I can't do that anymore because I just threw my voice out and I can't talk now?
Yeah, when I was starting out, hell yeah, I would cough a lot. That's when I knew it was time to quit, and I would go like a month without trying again. It was a process, but, you know, now I do it every day, so.
I mean, did you ever, like, take any kind of, like, vocal training? Because I know there's, like, a lot of people out there that could teach you, like, certain techniques and stuff. Like, did you ever do any of that kind of thing? Of course, there's also YouTube to learn that stuff now.
Right. I never took any lessons. I was in swing choir and stuff like that when I was in school, so I kind of took my singing voice and took a lot of those things and made them into a screaming thing. But, of course, I watched Melissa Cross. I don't know if you can come across a vocalist nowadays who hasn't at least skimmed through those videos and techniques and stuff. But I never had any formal training, or it's all self-taught, if you will.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so what were you into? Now, I know you were in Systems and stuff like that, but what other bands were you into before Entheos?
I was in a lot of local bands. I'm from Iowa. I was in a band called Prevail on the Hill of Gunfire and one called From Citizen to Soldier, but we never played really outside of the state or anything like that. And when I moved to California, I joined Systems, and we released an EP, and after that I just kind of hung out until Entheos came around. I put some stuff on the internet, like a cover video, but I wasn't in a band.
So, you know, speaking of videos on YouTube, a lot of people started taking notice of your talents when you did that audition for Veil of Maya. Now, did they ever get back to you on that?
Yeah, their manager actually got a hold of me and asked me if I wanted to do a formal tryout, and he kind of told me from the beginning that they wanted a singer. So I knew that going in, but I was like, fuck it, I'll try it anyway. I can sing, but it's just not ever what I've done in bands. So I sent them an audition, and we went through the whole thing, but they ended up choosing Lucas, and I think they made a really, really good decision because he kills it. His singing voice is incredible, and now I'm in Entheos, so it worked out.
All's well that ends well, Chaney.
Yeah, it's a happy ending.
But you know what's kind of cool about that video? This must have made you feel good because everybody was like, dude, you have to get this chick in the band. Why aren't you? Because I was like, just today, I was like, just sometimes that's what I do for entertainment. I'm barely half the times I don't even watch the video. I just read the comments on everything. And all of them were just like, ew, what's wrong with you? You got it. So that must have made you feel kind of good, you know? You must have been doing something right there.
Yeah, I mean, I must admit it did feel really good because you never know going into a fucking YouTube video what kind of comments you're going to get hit with, really. And a lot of people are really, really mean on YouTube, so I was kind of expecting anything, and people ended up being really into it, and I still get asked about it at almost every show that my band plays, so it worked out. It was cool. I'm stoked that I put it up on the internet. Yeah.
And it's fun to watch and the whole story. And like you said, now you're in Entheos, so everything's cool. And now talking about Entheos, so tell us a little bit about the band now, how it all started up and how you got involved in it.
Navene, our drummer, started the band. He has this solo project called Navene K where he drums to like electronic music, and he had been on tour in Europe, and when he got back from that tour, he just kind of wanted to start a band and not be on his own, basically, and he had produced my old band, Systems, so he knew my vocal style and what I had in mind creatively. So he asked me to join the band, and I said yes. I'm a huge fan of his stuff. And so he hit up Frank Costa, who had been in this band called Animosity with him, to play guitar. And he also asked Evan Brewer, our bass player, who had also been in Animosity with him, to join the band. So it kind of came together at a perfect time. Like, Evan had just left his old band, the Faceless, and we just kind of wanted to get together and write a demo and see what came together out of the four of us writing music together. We never, ever anticipated this, you know. We never thought that we would be like a full-time touring band or be writing a full-length album or anything like that. So it's great that all of this stuff happened and really cool. It just basically began as a thing that we could maybe jam if we got together sometime.
Well, the thing is, everybody in your band are these great musicians that people know of their talents. So for you, because it's just like all your friends and stuff, we just got all our friends together. But for us, it's like, holy shit, they got Navene in there, they from Animals as leaders. You guys got Evan from the Faceless. You got Animosity's Frank. We're like, oh my god, I can't wait to hear this shit from you guys. So
yeah,
it's funny to hear you about like, we just got our little friends.
Yeah, when we announced that we were a band, it was kind of like, holy shit, okay, people, want to listen to this. That's really weird. And it became, this thing, whereas we just thought we were typing on the internet to 10 people who would check it out or whatever. So it was cool to see the reaction when we announced that we were going to be making this project. It was reassuring,
And then you were probably like, holy shit, people are watching us. We can't suck.
Right.
We got everybody listening to us. So here you are. You're like this crazy extreme metal supergroup here. When you all get together, how do you even go about approaching writing music of this caliber?
Well, our music starts off kind of with Navene going back and forth with Evan and our guitar player and seeing what they come up with. They kind of come up with a skeleton and put riffs together. So it ends up this electronic drum and guitar demo thing. And Navene will go through, because he produces our music, so he writes out electronic parts to all of the skeletons, and then we kind of go into the actual recording process. So we'll hit the studio, and both times we've recorded drums with Zach Oren at Castle Ultimate. So we'll record drums with him, and then we'll leave and track everything, and everyone will kind of add their own flavor. So it's very much like a group writing mentality. That's what we started the band for, to have everyone's musical taste kind of come in and intertwine, and everyone on their own has this solo thing going on that we wanted to pull into our band. So it works out really well. We're really good at writing together, and because we're friends, I think it just works out. Yeah.
Well, I mean, just for the listener to hear just this kind of music, I mean, it's so, seems, or at least, to the listener, it's so complicated, and there's all these different time changes, and they're always like, God, how the heck do they even do that? But, it's like you said, you start off with your little skeleton thing, and then you just fill in the parts, and everybody gets together. So that's awesome. Now, once word got out about this band, of course, everybody was anxiously awaiting material. So when you released your EP Primal last year, what were people's reactions now that they finally heard some music from you guys?
It seemed like people were stoked. The reactions were great. I mean, yeah. I couldn't have been happier with what people were. They seemed to be into it to me, and yeah, that's it.
That's a good thing. And when you performed live for the first time, then I'm assuming it was last year, well, after you came out with the EP.
Yeah.
So what was that like for you going up there? Because, here you are. I mean, girl singers always get a different reaction than any freaking guy singer, especially when they're in this, I hate to say the word genre, this type of music. I mean, even when I know what to expect, like when I see a female up there and they just start growling, it's like, oh, I like it, I'm like, yes, women power. And the guys are always like, what the fuck is wrong with her? So is it kind of fun for you to see some of these reactions out there?
It's interesting. Sometimes there are people who have heard our music and they have no idea that I'm a chick, and they'll come to a show and they'll be like, what the fuck? I had no idea that you were a woman. That's fucking crazy. And that's always interesting to me because I don't have that perception at all. I just kind of am like, they probably know, whatever. But yeah, it's interesting, to say the least, to see people's reactions, and it's cool.
I love it, and I like that too. And that's kind of like a compliment too, if they're like, hey, we weren't expecting this. So they're expecting a powerful person, you know what I mean? They always, somehow in the music genre, they always relate power with these men up there, but women have power too.
Women have hella power, man.
Damn it, of course.
We're fucking strong.
So let's talk about the new album now, The Infinite Nothing. What were you guys going for when writing this one?
We never really stopped writing, with Primal. We just kind of flowed into writing the album. So really, we were just kind of moving forward with that. There wasn't really anything we went for. It's just kind of naturally what came out of us. We wanted, to include death metal, to include progressive music, and just to do our thing. And that's kind of what we got.
And so tell us about, since you're the singer, and I'm assuming that you're the one that writes all the lyrics, tell us about the lyrics, and what do you usually write about lyrically, and what do you draw inspiration from?
Yeah, I do write all the lyrics. I draw inspiration from my life, really, when it comes down to it. But I'm really into philosophy of the mind and things like that. So I think that I find a way to incorporate that with my life and write from there. So I'll write poetry and things. I have like this notebook full of tons of lyrics that I kind of pull out and add lines to when it comes down to like really writing the song. But yeah, that's where it all comes from. I'm writing from a biographical point of view.
And through that biographical point of view, do you have all kinds of emotions? Are you mad, angry, happy, sad?
Of course, I go through a variety of things. I come to a lot of, just like everyone else, day to day, I have realizations with where I want to be in life and what I'm going through at the time. And that's really what I jot down. And the way that I say it is pretty ambiguous, but yeah, it's all of my lyrics are emotional. I only write about myself. I find it really hard to like come up with a concept and write about that because I feel kind of detached from a concept. When I'm writing from my own point of view, it makes everything so easy to perform and to say because it's how I feel.
And do you have a personal favorite off the album or a favorite song that you like to perform off of it? I guess we've performed 2 new songs live. My favorite so far has been New Light. That has been my favorite song from the album since it was in skeleton demoing stages. So, yeah, I love that song, but I'm really stoked to incorporate a couple of the other new songs into our set on this upcoming run. This one called Perpetual Miscalculations, which opens the album. I'm so stoked to play that, and An Ever-Expanding Human I'm really stoked to play as well. But I just love the fucking album. It's the thing that I've helped create that I'm most proud of in my life so far, so. I was going to say, too, now, New Light, was New Light your pre-release? Is that the song that you pre-released, or did you have a different one?
We released Neural Damage first. New Light has a music video that goes along with it.
Because New Light is awesome. And I was going to say, that's my favorite song, too. And, I was like, okay, so here's the video. But a lot of times I'll see the video and then I listen to the album and I hear a song that I like better from the album. But not this time. This time I'm the same way. I like New Light just because it has so many different elements in it, too. You know what I mean? The intro, then right in the middle and the end. It's just kind of all these different elements, and at one point I wasn't paying attention and I thought it had stopped, and as I come running down there, like, oh wait, so it was kind of a slower part. I was like, I love that song too, so there.
Yeah, that's awesome. I fucking love the bass break in that song. It's like one of my favorite moments on our album.
Oh yeah, it is a great song, and like you said, you're going to be performing that live soon, so tell us a little bit, talking more about the album. You said that you guys self-produced this, right?
Navene produced it, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so, and what about recording it? Now you mentioned a little bit, but when you record the whole album, do you record it locally?
We only record drums with someone else, and that is with Zach Oren. Navene tracks everything else.
Oh, there you go. So you're saving a lot of money.
Oh, so much fucking money.
Now all you need to do, Cheney, is get an artist that's one of your bandmates, and he can do all the cover arts, and you got it made.
Yeah, we're trying for that.
So tell us about the cover art, since we're talking about it, of this particular album.
A guy named Comatech did it. He's done a lot of art for some electronic artists, most notably these guys called Noisia. They're like drum and bass music, and his art is just really trippy, really abstract, and that was exactly what we wanted with our album. I mean, The Infinite Nothing is a fairly abstract, ambiguous album title, and we wanted the art to go perfectly along with that, and I love our album art.
I do too. It's like you said, Cheney, it goes perfect with that because it has that it has like that digital aspect to it too, but
Totally.
it's also got that metal aspect too. So it's
Right.
it's like you said, you got what you were going for in that one perfectly.
Yes, I love it.
And we were talking earlier about the video of you and Navene practicing. Do you guys do a lot of just impromptu practices like that? It's like, hey.
Well, we live like a couple houses down from this guy who owns a drum studio, and he lets us practice there like on Saturdays. So we jam for a couple hours, and we're the only two who live in the same city. So we unfortunately have to go and jam to album tracks of bass and guitar. I wish that Evan and Travis were here to practice with us all the time, but yeah, we practice together on Saturdays to get ready for tours if we have something coming up. So that's what we've been doing.
And now, do you guys plan on doing like more videos off the album?
Hell yes. We're going to be putting out playthroughs of individual members. We have some plans to do some full band playthroughs. I'm sure that sometime in the future we'll put out some full band playthroughs to our old EP as well. So tons of stuff. We're all about like filming videos of us practicing and raw stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So yeah, you can expect a lot more from that department for sure.
And like I said, you guys have like, it's like a super group, and playthroughs, we would love that from everybody, because everybody is like these fantastic musicians in there, so that's kind of cool. We're looking forward to that.
Well, that's very nice of you.
It's true. It's just kind of funny for you.
Filming a lot of shit, man. So I hope people want to see it. Otherwise, we're totally fucked.
Well, it's like you said, you're like, we're all friends, but we're all like, holy shit, playthroughs from Navene. More playthroughs from Navene, because we've seen them from other stuff, but this is going to, be cool from the new album.
Definitely.
So, Chaney, where can people go to find out more about the band, what you have going on, tours, all that kind of stuff?
Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter are, like anyone else, our main areas to go check out and see what we're doing. Go type into Google. I'm sure all our tour dates will come up. And we're going to be on tour quite a bit this year, so come out and see us, and you can experience the live show too. So, yeah, hit it from all angles.
So what's the next tour that you have coming up? Is it the one with Intronaut?
Yeah, we're doing a tour with Intronaut in 2 weeks, and a band called Moontooth, who are really, really sick, and I'm stoked to play with those guys every night. We've also got some other stuff planned for the rest of this year that we haven't announced yet, so...
So yeah. we could find out on your Facebook page once that comes all legal. Okay, so The Infinite Nothing is out now, and Entheos are going on tour, so if you get a chance, definitely check them out, pick up some of their merchandise, and Chaney, thank you so much for taking the time to do this interview with us here tonight.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been an absolute pleasure.